This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce to you the incredible new Dusty's Double Gold Roulette system. Let's jump right in, place the bets, and I'm going to share with you how he's making money in the casino. And we're going to look at the last number that hit, and if it is a higher number, like the 24, we're going to place our first two bets on third 12 and 19 to 36. If it is a lower number, we're going to place it on 1 to 18 and first 12. Let's go ahead and spin. And with this system, you do not increase the bet if you lose once. We're going to leave it the same, and that's a 32 red. That's a nice $30 win to start there. And we're up 30, and we're going to stay right there because this is a follow the winner system where we place our next bet based on the previous one. And here we go. That's a 5 red. And we lost that one, and that was at 10 and 10. And now we're going to switch to the low side, but we're not going to increase the bets. We have to lose twice with this system to increase the bets. And here we go. That's a 7 red. All right, that's a $30 win there. Fantastic. We're up $40, and we'll still be on first 12, 1 to 18. And let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. This is Dusty's Double Gold Roulette system. Looks fantastic so far. I can't wait to see how much money we make with this one. And that's a break even on that one. So we just rebet and spin. And that's because we did not hit both at the same time, but it doesn't hurt us any. And here we go. I'm also going to tell you about my trip to Kansas City this week. And that's a loss there. So we're going to go from 10 to 20 now on each and switch to the high side because the high side just hit. I've been at the Maristar the last 3 days in Kansas City, and it was awesome. I met a ton of subscribers and played for a lot of you guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and increase that now. We're going to go from 20 to 30 and switch sides. We're trying to hit both these at the same time. And here we go. And one of the guys that probably sat there for an hour while I was playing, his name was Zui. And that was a lot of fun. It was great to meet you. And his mom came by and gave me some gifts and stuff too. It was pretty funny. But had a great time. And let's just repeat that bet and spin. And but a lot of other people I met as I moved around the different roulette tables at Kansas City and Maristar. So I'm going to try to start telling you guys, and we're going to switch to the high side now. We're going to go from 30 to 50 each and switch to the high side. I'm going to try to start telling you guys every single time I'm in a casino just so you guys can come by and say hello and on the daily videos. So that is a loss there. And we're going to switch back to the low side. We're going to go from 50 to 80 each. And we're trying to hit both of them at the same time. Let's go ahead and spin. This is Dusty's Double Gold Roulette system. And here we go. That's a 00. We don't like that. So we keep the bet the same spot. We're going to have to increase it from 80 to 130 each. And again, the goal here is, and I think I added one too many right here. I did. So now we're at 130 each on the low side. The goal is to hit both these at the same time. And that's a 22 black. We didn't do it there. So we're going to switch sides. And we're going to go from 130 to 210 on this other side. And I think we'll probably get a win here. It's been a while since we have got one. And one good thing about this is if you miss a dozen multiple times with this system, there's a good chance you'll hit the 1 to 18 or 19 to 36, which will be a push. And that's a 27 red. There we go. That's a $630 win. Now we're up 30 bucks and we'll still be on that high side. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. And let's see what we get on this one. That's a 28 black. And I know we haven't got a lot of profit yet, but you'll see it here coming up. And we're going to stay on this high side at 10 each. And we're up 60 now. So these wins at base level definitely add up. And here we go. That's a 32 red. That's another 30 bucks. Now you see we're up 90. So starting to add up now, and we're going to take advantage of streaks of high numbers or low numbers with this system. And that's a 13 black. And we lost that one. So we're going to go ahead and switch sides. And we're going to go to 10 and 10. Okay, we're not going to increase on the first loss. So we're going to repeat the same bet. That's an 11 black. And that's a nice $30 win. We're up 100 now. Let's stay on the low side for 10 each. And I'm going to share with you how I played in Kansas City because I did fantastic. although I got in trouble a couple times and escaped, and I can't wait to share with you how that works too. So let's go from 10 to 20 now, but we need to switch to the high side. So let's go ahead and do that and spin. So we go 10, 10, 20. Then we add up the two previous bets for our next bet on both these, and that's a 33 black. That's a $60 win. We're up $140, and we'll go back to 10 and 10 on the high side and spin. So I was using that disappearing corner strategy with the no boss this week, and I'm still working on that strategy because I haven't lost with it yet. And we need to switch to the low side. But I had the max bet twice this week, and so I got close to losing my bankroll with it. Had a fantastic week though, because I didn't lose my bankroll any this week. But again, and let's repeat that 10 and 10. We're up 150. It got close to losing its bankroll twice. So, and then I probably got to the $55 level a couple times as well. That's a $30 win. We're up 180. And for those of you that aren't familiar with that system, you pick 6 corners and then you peel one off each time it wins. And the corners are played individually, so each one goes up with modified Fibonacci. Hopefully you can find that video if you didn't see the original. We're up $210, and we're still at base level. Let's get some more wins here at base level. And here we go. And I was also playing the no boss strategy while I was doing it. And a lot of my profit came from that, about half of it. And let's go ahead and switch to the high side. But we're going to keep the bets the same. 10 and 10, we're up $190. And let's go ahead and spin. And this is, let's see, that's in a 30 red. That's a nice $30 win. Now we're up $220. We're going to stay on the high side. We're trying to hit them both at the same time here. And again, this is Dusty's double gold roulette system. That is another $30 win. And now we're up $250. And let's see, we'll still be on the high side for 10 each. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. Again, we're adding up the two previous bets for the next bet. And we're not increasing until we've had 2 losses. So the first 2 bets are the same. And now we're going to go low, and we're going to go back to, we're not going to increase the bet yet. We need 2 losses in a row for that. And that's an 11 black. That's a nice $30 win. We're at $260. We're going to stay on the low side and spin. And here we go. But yeah, I'm going to try to tell you guys in the daily video where I'm at that day. And I don't always know what time I'm going to be out there. And some of the people that came this week, I think it was just luck that we were there at the same time. But let's see here, 10 and 10. We need to go we're going to stay at 10 and 10, but we're going to go to the high side here because we need 2 losses to increase. But here we go. That's a 27 red. But at least I like to let you guys know which casino I'm at. We're up $270, and we'll be at 10 and 10. And let's go ahead and spin. And whenever I'm at Kansas City and Ameristar, I always enjoy the KC Chop House. And it was fantastic. And that's a 30 red. That's a $30 win. And and we're up $300. That's awesome. So we'll be at 10 and 10. Let's go ahead and spin. And whenever I go to Kansas City, I love to go down to Country Club Plaza. It was beautiful. It was all set up for Christmas, and that's a break even, so we just rebet and spin again. And Country Club Plaza in Kansas City is a beautiful place in Christmas time, and it actually started snowing lightly while we were down there, which was pretty cool. And we'll go to 20 and 20 now on, we need to switch to the low side though. Let's go ahead and do that. We're currently up $280, but we'll get over 300 once we hit these again here. We're trying to hit both at the same time. If we don't, it will break even on those. And that's a nice $60 win. And we're up $340. And let's go back to 10 and 10 on first 12, 1 to 18. And here we go. And again, I was playing the no boss at the same time. I was playing disappearing corners. That's a 7 red. But again, I'm still working on that one. And there's 3 in a row. So if we were playing the no boss today, you could do $100 on second and third 12. and we're at $370, and we'll still be on the low numbers because this is the follow the winner betting pattern. And here we go. Let's see if it continues. Now that's one thing that can get you with the no boss, and sometimes you lose the first one. So if we had been playing it there, we would have lost the front end. But let's see what would have happened on our recovery bet here. Let's go ahead and spin again at 10 and 10, and we'll see if we would have won that recovery bet. Oh my goodness, that's a 1 red. And we won that one, but we would have lost on the no boss. So it's a good thing we weren't playing that today. However, one thing I will let you guys know, and we're back to 10 and 10 again, is I always look for a losing scenario before I start. So if I was playing that today, I would look for 5 in a row where it missed 2 dozens. And just like what you saw there with the 6, 5, 7, 0, and 1 before I start. So that makes me feel better about playing that system. And let's see, we'll switch to the high side now. We're still at 10 and 10. We're at $360 with, let's see what we get on this one here first. That's a 33 black. Okay, that's a $30 win. We're at $390. We'll be on third, 12 and 19 to 36 still because it's the follow the winner system. This is Dusty's double gold roulette system, and it's doing fantastic. That's a 33 black. That's a $30 win. We're at 420 now. And again, this would be another scenario where you could play the no boss. And since we would have lost, if I was playing the no boss, I would have skipped this one here because it would have waited for a losing scenario. But then I would have bet 100 on first and second 12 here. Let's see what would have happened on that one and spin. And again, when you're playing that system, the second bet is 250 and 250, and that's a 3 red. Okay, that's a loss there, but we would have won the no boss. So that would have been $100 profit there. And now we'll switch to the low side, and we'll go to 20 and 20. Okay, we're at $400 now and spin. And here we go. That's a 28 black. And that's a loss. So we'll switch to the high side, and we'll go from 20 to 30. Again, all we're doing after we lose, after we wait for two losses before we go from 10 to 20. But then after that, we add up the 2 previous bets for our next bet. It's the original Fibonacci sequence, and that's a loss. We're going to switch to the low side and go from 30 to 50. And again, that's because we're adding up the 2 previous bets of 30 and 20. And we have 2 of those, so that gets us to $100 total bet. And here we go. That's a 35 black. And we lost that one, so we're going to increase again and switch to the high side. We're going to go 50 to 80 because we're adding up the 2 previous bets of 30 and 20. I'm sorry, of 50 and 30. And now that makes a 160 total bet because there's 2 of them. So let's go ahead and spend this. It's a $2,000 bankroll system, and that's an 8 black. Okay, we lost that one, so we'll increase again. And we'll go to the low side, and we're going to go 80 plus 50 now for 130 each. And the nice thing about the original Fibonacci system is that that you basically, with this, you have a lot of chances to recover. And it helps if you even out the 12 with a higher number, like the 1 to 18. But we have not won in a while, so we're going to switch sides. And we're going to go from 130 to 210. But again, if we were martingaling, we would have already lost. That's the good thing about Fibonacci. But having this 19 to 36 helps protect us. So you shouldn't have as long of losing streaks when you have more numbers covered, like the 19 to the 24. Okay, let's go ahead and spin at 420 total bet and see if we can get a high number here. And here we go. Oh my goodness, that's a 5 red. We're in trouble a little bit now. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. We're at minus 640, so we're not in tons of trouble yet, but we need to get a win. And that was at 210 each. We're going to switch sides. And now, all of a sudden, we need to go 210 plus 130, which is 340 on each. So we can't have too many more losses. And I think we'll get the win here, or at least hit 13 to 18 and break even. Let's find out. Because we've had a lot of them in a row now where they just keep going back and forth. And that's a 6 black. And we got a $1,020 win there. Now we're back up $380. And then you just restart. So again, we'll be on the low side for 10 and 10 and spin. But again, by having the 1 to 18 in there as well, it might lengthen your progression a little bit, because those extra 6 numbers might keep you from continuing on with the progression. Because if you break even, you don't go up in the progression. Okay, we're going to switch sides, but we're not going to increase the bet yet. And so we're still at 10 and 10. Then we go 10 and 10 again. Then 20, 30, 50, 80, 130, 210, 340, 550. And that is a $30 win. We're at 390. And we'll still be on the high side here. So let's go ahead and spin and see what we get here. That's a 16 red. Okay, we lost that one. So let's go ahead and switch sides. And we'll be at 10 and 10 and spin. Here we go. That's a 9 red. That's a $30 win. And we're up $400 now after 15 minutes with this incredible new system. I hope you guys enjoy this, test it out, and let me know what you guys think down in the comments as usual. And if you haven't yet, please like, share, and subscribe. And now we're going to go ahead and do another one of the Blast from the Past videos. So I hope you're enjoying those. And it's coming up right now.
This is the Roulette Master, and I cannot wait to introduce you to the incredible new Lights Out Streets roulette system by Randy. He said this is a safe and effective way to consistently win at the casino, and I can't wait to share with you. But today we're going to put his incredible new system in a head-to-head matchup against Kentucky White's 9 Streets, and we're going to start with that first, and I can't wait to see which one makes the most money in 15 minutes. So let's start with Kentucky White's 9 Streets first. We'll start with 3 streets. And you can see we have a 0 balance. That's a $15 total bet. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 15 black. And we lost that first one, so we're going to add 3 more streets. Let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to double the bet from 30 to 60 and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 1 red. That should be a win. Okay, that's a $60 win. We're already up $45. So now we're just going to start with 3 streets again. And you can move these around. In fact, we can, let's go ahead and start with them on the other side this time. And spin again. And see if we can get a win with just 3 streets. That's 9 numbers total. Okay, that's a 36 red. And it's a good thing we moved it. That's awesome. That's another $45 win. We're up $90 now. So let's start with the 3 streets in the middle this time. $15 bet again, and then we'll check our balance and see how much we're up. This is doing great so far. That's a 13 black. And we just missed that one, so let's go ahead and add 3 more streets. We'll go 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll double that bet from 30 to 60 and spin. And here we go. So if you win with 3 streets or 6 streets, you only need 1 win to reset. If you win with 9 streets, you need 2. But we won with 6 streets, so we're good to go to reset. We're already up $135. That is crazy. So let's start with 3 streets separated this time and spin. It doesn't matter where you put them. And here we go. That's a 29 black. Okay, we lost that one, so let's add 3 more streets in. Let's add them like this. And then we're going to double the bet from 30 to 60 and spin. And here we go. That's a 19 red. And we hit it again. That's awesome. So we're up $180 now. Let's add 3 more and spin. We're going to keep moving these streets around. You can leave them the same if you would like, but we start with 3, and that's an 8 black. And look at that. That's another $45 win. We're already up $225 with Kentucky White's 9 streets. And let's start with 3 that are just separated by 1 here and see if we can get another win. That's a 28 black. How about that? Another $45 win. Now we're up $270. Let's add them right here and spin again. And once we get to 9 streets, we're going to need 2 wins instead of 1 to reset. But right now, let's just enjoy winning. And we got another $45 win. How about that? We're already up $315. And let's start on the far right side again here and see what we get. It'd be great to get a high number here. And that's a 26 black. And we missed that one. So let's go ahead and add 3 more streets. just like that. We're going to keep mixing this up. And actually, I should have doubled that one, but it's okay if you don't double the second one. That's a 23 red. And we lost. Let's go ahead and double now. We're going to add 3 more, just like that. And then we're going to double the bet to 90 and spin. And here we go. You can really play it either way. You make a little more money if you double on the 6 streets. And that's a nice $30 win. But once we get to 9 streets, we need 2 wins instead of 1. But the good thing is we have 27 numbers covered. So that's a 6 black there. And there's our 2 wins. So now we're up $330. We restart. So let's go ahead and start with 3 streets right here and spin, and let's see what we get. That's a 36 red. Okay, that's a $15 loss. So let's add 3 more streets. And now we'll double to 60 and spin. But again, you can wait to double till the next one if you would like. This one makes a little more money doing it this way. And that's a 31. We lost. So now we're going to add in 3 more streets. 1, 2, and 3, and then double. Now, actually, I'm sorry. Those needed to go to, you have to add those in at 10 before you double. So let's see where we're at here. Those ones there have 20. Let's make sure they all have 20. Okay, now they do. That's a 180 total bet. Let's make sure that's right. 9 times 20 is 180. So let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 28 black. That's a nice win, $60 win. We're up $315. Let's go for win number 2, and then we can reset. So remember that when you add in the 9 streets, you need to add them in where the other bets already are. The reason we didn't do that the time before is because we didn't double on that one after on the 18 numbers. And we're up $375 now. Let's restart with 3 streets. So if you were to not double after when you get to 6 streets, then you wouldn't need to do that. But if you do double when you get to 6 streets, you would need to add in the 7th, 8th, and 9th street at $10 instead of 5. And that's because the rest are already there. So let's go to 6 streets now, and this time we'll double to 60 and spin. Again, you can also do a safer version of not doubling yet. And here we go. That's a 35 black. And we lost, so let's go ahead now and add 3 more in. These need to be added in at 10, not 5. Okay, then we'll double to 180 and spin. And here we go. But again, if you don't double on 18 numbers, then you don't need to do that. Okay, that's a loss. So we're going to double the bet from 180 to 360, and then let's spin and see what we get here. Okay, that's a 36 red. Okay, there's a win. We need 2 of them though, so let's just rebet and spin. See if we can get a second win. We do have 27 numbers covered now, so we have a good chance of winning. And that's a 3 red. And we lost, so we're going to need to double the bet again. This is why this is a $2,000 bankroll system. We're at $720 total bet now. We have enough in our bankroll to place this bet. That's a 6 black. That's a nice $240 win. We're up $120. We need to get 1 more win, so let's go ahead and do that. We're up $120, and let's spin again here. All right, here we go. That's a 6 black. And that's another win, $240 win. We're back up $360. We restart. So let's start with 3. And again, I like to move them around, and Kentucky White does too. Let's go ahead and spin with our starting 3 streets. And here we go. That's a 9 red. That's a loss. So let's add the next 3 in. We'll add them in right there and then double and spin. And here we go. Okay, that's a 26 black. And we lost. So we're going to add in the 7, 8, and 9 streets at $10. And then double. Now we're at 180 total bet. Again, this is a $2,000 bankroll system. But remember, you can also play this and just divide everything by 5 with a $400 bankroll and dollar units. Okay, that's a $60 win. Let's rebet and spin. Try to get our 2 wins so that we can reset with Kentucky White's 9 streets. And that's a 20 black. There's our 2 wins, so we're at $405 now. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and start with those 3 right there and see if we can get a pretty high number on this one. And here we go. That's a 22 black. That's a loss, not too far off, but let's go ahead and add 3 more in. And then we're going to go ahead and double from 30 to 60 and spin. All right, here we go. Let's get a win. That's a 10 black. That is not a win, so we're going to go to 7, 8, and 9 streets now, and these are going to go in at 10 each. Okay, and then we're going to double from 90 to 180 and spin. Again, you can do this with a $400 bankroll in dollar units as well. This is a $2,000 bankroll with $5 units. And that's a nice win at 60. We're up 390. We're going to go for our second win here. If we don't get it, we'll need to double the bet again. That's a 19 red. That's a nice win. We're up $450. We reset and add 3 streets in and spin. And here we go. I'd love to get another win with 3 streets or 9 numbers again. That was awesome. That's a 2 black, but we didn't get it, so let's add the next 3 in. Just like that, and then double and spin. Now we're at $60 total bet. And that's a 13 black. And that's a nice win. Again, when you win with 18 numbers, you just restart. We're at $495. So let's add 3 more in again and spin. And I want to thank everybody that's been to theroulettemaster.com this week and bought those cash out shirts. And really appreciate you guys' support. And I think you're going to really like those shirts as well. Let's go ahead and add the next 3 streets in. And then double. And spin. And here we go. That's a 9 red. Okay, that's a loss. So we're going to go to the 7th, 8th, and 9th street now. We're going to add those in at 10 each. Now we're going to double the bet to 180. Now let's try to get our 2 wins now that we have 27 numbers covered. And that's a 35 black. I believe that is a loss, and it is. This is why we have the bankroll that we do. So we just double to 360 and spin. Now let's try to get our 2 wins, and here we go. That's a 22 black. There's one of them, and we're up 360. Let's go ahead and try to get 2 here. And here we go. That's a 32 red. All right, that's a good win. We're up $480. And let's go with 3 streets again and spin. And again, there's also a safer option of not doubling with 18 numbers. That's a 31 black. And let's go ahead and add the next ones in. So let's try that one more time just to share it with you if you want to be a little safer. We're not going to double the bets this time. We're just going to go ahead and spin. We just added 3 more streets at 5 each. And that's a 30 red. Okay, and we got it. So that's a $30 win. We're up $495. So let's put 3 more in and start. See if we can get another win with 9 numbers. That would be awesome. That's a 10 black. How about that? That's a $45 win. We're up $540 with Kentucky White's 9 streets. And here we go again. All right, we're 12 minutes in out of 15. That's a 35 black. We lost. Let's add the next 3 in. And 1, 2, and 3. And since we're doing really well, let's wait to double till we get to the next one. And here we go. That's a 22 black. And that's a nice $30 win. We're at $555. And here we go. Let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 9 red. Look at that. That's a nice $45 win. We're up $600 now. That's awesome. Let's start with 3 streets and spin again. We'll keep them moving around. And here we go. That's a 31 black. And look at that. Another $45 win. We're up $645. Absolutely incredible. And this system is doing great today. And that's a 14 red. Another one. How about that? We're up $690 now. Okay, $15 total bet right here and spin. Okay, that's a 35 black. Okay, that's a $15 loss there. Okay, we're going to add those in, double and spin. And here we go. That's a 7 red. We did not win, so let's add 3 more in at 10 each. So if you double when you get to 6, you have to double. You have to add them in at 10 instead of 5 because you add them in where all the bets are already at. So here we go again. That's a double zero. That's not good. Okay, so we lost. So let's go from 180 to 360 and spin. And when the bets get high like this and you're up a lot, you have to decide if one win is good enough for you. Let's make that decision right now. It's a $120 win, and I would recommend resetting after one win when you're up $555. So if the bets are high. So let's just be safe and start back over with 3 streets again. And here we go. Okay, that's a 12 red. Okay, that's a loss. So let's go ahead and add 3 more in. And this time we won't double until we get to 9. Here we go. That's a 12 red. That's a little safer way of playing it again. And if you do that, you won't have to add the 7th, 8th, and 9 in at 10. You'd add them in at 5. But then you would double to 90 and spin. And here we go. Makes the bets a little bit smaller. That's an 8 black. Okay, and we're at 540. And let's rebet and spin again. Try to get 2 wins. And then we'll reset. And we're right at the 15-minute mark with this one. That's an 11 black. All right, so after 15 minutes of play, Kentucky White's 9 streets made $570 profit. So let me know down in the comments what you think of this one. And now we have the new system of the day coming up. I can't wait to see how much money that one makes. And let's see if it makes more than $570. Here we go. All right, the time is finally here for Lights Out Streets by Randy. He said he's consistently winning in the casino. I hope you guys can take this system and do the same thing. Let's test it out and get started. And we're going to start with some street bets here, just like that. And now we have a $30 total bet. And let's go ahead and spin. I'll share with you what he does. It's a little bit different than most and why it's working. That is a 26 black to start. And that's a nice $30 win. So we're already up 30 bucks. We're just going to rebet and spin again. And he picks these numbers very carefully by where they're at on the roulette wheel. But the progression is really genius on this one. And that's a 25 red. That's a $30 win. And we're up $60. Let's just rebet and spin with Lights Out Streets by Randy. Okay, that's a 4 black. Okay, and that's a loss. So we're going to start out by going up 1 unit, which is the same as doubling. So let's go ahead and do that. Now we're at $60 total bet. Okay, that's a 30 red. Okay, and we lost that one. So we're going to double the bet. So let's go ahead and go from 60 to 120 and spin. If we lose this one, we're not going to double the bet on this next one. That's a 16 red. And we lost again. So now we're going to go up 1 unit instead of doubling. So let's go from 20 to 25. And we're at 150 total bet now. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 24 black. And that's a nice $150 win. You see, we're not in profit anymore, though. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back 1 unit on all those. So we're just going to take the $5 off of each. Just like that. And now we're at 120 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin again. There we go. That's a double zero. And that's not what we wanted. So if you get that, then we go ahead and double the next bet. So we're going to go from 120 to 240 and spin. Here we go. That's a 19 red. And we lost. So now we're going to go up a unit. So we're going to add 5 to each. Okay, now we're at 270 total bet. That's a 13 black. How about that? That's a nice $270 win, but you see we're not in session profit. So we're going to go back a unit. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to take a unit off of each one of these. Okay, now we are at 240 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin again, see if we can get in session profit here. That's a 9 red. And we lost again. So now we have to double the bet from 240 to 480, but we do have the $2,000 bankroll, so we can do that. let's get a win and get back on track with this system. That's a 35 black. How about that? That's a $480 win. Now we're up 150 bucks. Let's restart. And I think we've just been getting some bad numbers so far, but we're up and we're doing well. Let's make some money now. This is a $30 total bet. And let's see what we get. That's a 1 red. Okay, that's a $30 win. We're up $180. Let's just rebet and spin again here. That's a 14 red. That's a $30 win. We're up $210. And we're making some nice money here at base level. Here we go. Okay, that's a 29 black. Okay, that's a $30 loss. Let's go ahead and we're going to go up 1 unit, which is the same as doubling on the first bet. Let's go ahead and spin again. So basically we just added $5 to all those bets. That's a 25 red. And that's a nice win there. We're up $240. Let's go ahead and reset. So let's place the bets back out again. And spin. $30 total bet here. That's a 31 black. All right, that's a loss. Let's go up 1 unit or $5 on each bet. Now there's 10 on each. Let's go ahead and spin. And if you win after you do that, you always reset. And here we go. That's a 16 red. And we lost, so now we're going to double the bet. We're going to go from 160 or 60 to 120. And if you win on this one, you reset every time as well. That's a 23 red. There we go. That's a $120 win. We're up $270 now. Let's go back to base level. And spin. Here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That is a 26 black. That's a $30 win. We're up $300. And let's go ahead and spin again. So doing really well with this one now. This is a really smart progression, doubling and then adding a unit, and then doubling and then adding a unit, instead of going doubling all the way through. So we're going to start by adding a unit, which is going from 5 to 10. You always reset if you win here. And after you double on the next one, you would always reset as well. Okay, and there's a win. That's a $60 win. We're at $330. Let's go back to base level at 30 and spin. And let's see what we get here. Okay, that's a 5 red. That's a loss, so let's go up a unit from $5 to $10 on all those bets. 18 numbers covered. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 13 black. That's a nice win. You always reset there. We're up $360. So let's go ahead now and we will add those bets back out again and go back at 30 and spin. And it's okay if you're not quite in session profit to reset, as long as it's somewhat close, especially once you get up over $300. Play it safe if you need to. And that's another nice win. We're at $390. Let's rebet and spin here at base level. And you always have to remember, like Sonny always says, that if you're taking money from the casino, it's money you didn't have before you came. It doesn't matter how much you've lost in the past. You're a winner for that day. And remember that and cash out. And let's go ahead and spin. And again, he's the one that gave me the inspiration to make those cash out shirts on the roulettemaster.com. So thanks again, Sonny, for that. And that was a loss at 60. So now we're going to double the bet to 120. And if we win here, we always reset as well. And let's see what we get. That's a 7 red. And we lost. So now we're going to go up a unit instead of doubling. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're at $150 total bet. And let's spin. That's a 4 black. And we lost. So now we're going to double. We're going to go from 150 to 300. If we lose this one, we're just going to go up a unit. And here we go. That's an 18 red. And we lost. So now we're just going to go up a unit. Let's go up $5 on each. Now we're at 55 each. And we're at 330 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, that's a 6 black. And we lost again. My goodness. So now we're going to double the bet. We're going to go from 330 to 660. We have the bankroll to do this. This is a $2,000 bankroll system. Remember, you can also play this, though, with a $400 bankroll and dollar units. My goodness, we lost again. That's a ton of losses in a row. Let's check where we're at, and we have about $700 left in the bankroll. Let's see how much our bet is right now. 690. So this is we can't lose this one. We need to win here, guys. Okay, that's a 26 black. Okay, that's a nice $690 win, but we're not in session profit, so we're going to go back a unit. So let's do that. And here we go. Okay, so now we're at 660 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin, see if we can get another win. That was very unlucky to have that many losses in a row, because the purpose of going double and then up a unit and then double and up a unit is that you don't get to the end of the progression. We're up $90 now. We won, but we're not in session profit, so we're going to take $10 off of each. And we're going to go from 110 to 105. Okay, now we're at 630 total bet. Let's see if we can get another win and get close to session profit. That's an 11 black. That's another $630 win. Now we're up $720. That was lucky, but we're back in business now. Let's go ahead and spin at $30 total bet. And if we were just martingaling, just doubling on every spin, we would have lost our bankroll for sure. That was a ton of losses in a row. And we're going to go up one unit and spin. And here we go. So by going up a unit and then doubling and then up a unit and then doubling, it extends the progression. But we still got in a little trouble there. So that was just very bad luck. We're up $750 now, though. We won there, so we're going back to 30. Let's go ahead and spin now and see what we get. Okay, that's a 25 red. That's a $30 win. We're up $780. And let's go ahead and spin again. Okay, that's a 4 black. And we lost. Let's go ahead now and we're going to go up a unit from 5 to 10 on each bet and spin. And on this one and the next one, if you win, you automatically reset. And that's a 10 black. That's a good win. So we're up $810. Let's drop back to 30 and spin. Again, you can play this with dollar bets and a $400 bankroll as well. And that's a 28 black. That's a loss. So we're going to go up a unit, 30 to 60 and spin. And here we go. That's a 14 red. Okay, that's a $60 win. We're up $840. Let's drop back to 30. Again, if you win at $30, $60, or $120, you always reset no matter what. And that's a 1 red. And we're up $870. That is fantastic profit. And here we go. Okay, that's a 1 red. Nice $30 win. We're up $900. Let's keep it rolling. Here we go. We got about 3.5 minutes left before we get to the 15 minutes. And that's a 15 black. And that's a $30 win. So we're up $930 now. And let's spin again here. Okay, that's a 20 black. We lost, so let's go up a unit. So the 5s turn to 10, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 17 black. We lost again, so now we're going to double the bet to 120 and spin. Here we go. That's a 9 red. And we lost again. So now we're going to go up a unit instead of doubling. So let's do that. Okay, now we're at 150 total bet, and let's spin. That's a 34 red. And that's a $150 win. You see we're up $870. We're not in session profit, so we're going to go back a unit. So let's do that. And we're at 120 total bet now. Let's spin. That's a 5 red. And we lost. So now we're going to double the bet from 120 to 240. And I think we're going to get a nice win here. I'm feeling this one. We had some bad luck earlier. Let's get a win. That's a 2 black. And that's a nice $240 win. Now we're up $990, and we'll go back to base level. And we're at a $30 total bet. I think this one will get us over $1,000 profit if we can get a win here. And that's a 27 red. How about that? That's a $30 win. We're up $1,020, and that was a really good session there. Thank you, Randy, for sending that one in, and that did really, really well. It got in a little bit of trouble at times, but definitely much safer than martingaling all the way through. Let me know down in the comments what you think of that one, as always, and really appreciate everyone's support of the channel. And please subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and comment and let me know what you think. That would be fantastic. I just really appreciate everyone sharing. This isn't possible without everyone sharing their systems each and every day, and I just really have a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.